Morning all. How are we all doing? You can probably tell by my voice, I'm not very well today. I haven't got a filter on. This is my actual voice. So it might be a short live room this morning. There's no live rooms this afternoon because it's Martin Luther King Day and the US is shut. But I've got this hideous infection thing that is going around at the moment in the UK, and everybody's got it. So I've been coughing like a loony all weekend, and as you can hear from my voice, my throat's not very happy about it. So it might be a short live room this morning. We'll cover everything that's important. We'll do the open, but I don't really feel like sitting here and talking very much this morning, so you'll have to forgive me. Morning Ian, Amy, JC, Baggy, Joe, Mumo, Virginia, Astro, Gaita, Gregors, Day Trader, Kennelly, Evil, Mark, Neo, Tom, how we doing? Hopefully you're all well. I should start doing some voiceover work, shouldn't I? I could do the movie trailers. Just shut the stream and go and rest. No, I feel fine other than that. It's just my voice. I feel a bit warm and, ill, but it's mainly my voice. It's just like this. Apparently, this thing, same as Australia, everyone has it. Yeah. Apparently, it's called the 100-day. Is it the 100-day flu or something? Flu? That's not how you spell flu. Yeah, 100-day cough. There you go. That's what it's called. It's basically like whooping cough. You know what whooping cough is, but it's like you cough, but you can't cough because it's so dry. You just end up going. Like that. You can't cough. So what happens is your entire stomach muscles and your lungs go and contract. It's horrible. There's nothing much you can do for it either. So you just have to sit it out. Anyway, apart from that, I won't do a demonstration again because that's what happens. Right. Friday. Closed out a load of stuff on Friday. On H1M5 mean reversion. We've got 6 minutes to the open. Let's actually do news first. So obviously today is bank holiday in America. It's Martin Luther King Day. So there is no US session this afternoon. Markets are either closed or on very short hours. It's the start of the WEF annual meetings today. I think it's all week. Yeah, it's all week. It's basically all the central banks get together, and as it says there, finance ministers, all sorts of people, important people in finance, basically get together, and they discuss world economy, what they're doing, all that sort of stuff. So it's one of those events. It's always marked as orange every time it's on, and there are reporters hanging around all the time, and there are some ever so occasionally, there are some instances where a central banker will come out, get asked a question and let something slip that they've been discussing to do with interest rates, inflation, what they're doing with monetary policy, all that sort of stuff. So occasionally on Financial Juice, you suddenly see something high impact come out, and they've caught it from the WEF conference. So you need to just be aware it's on all week. It's basically the potential for a talking head to pop up at any moment and say something. As you can see this week, we've got Lagarde speaking, we've got Bailey speaking, Lagarde again there. So just something to be aware of this week. It's not, I don't think, anything you need to worry about, but you just, sometimes someone might say something. So there's no news today. It's flat. We've got Bank of Canada Business Outlook this afternoon, but apart from that, there's no other news today. Tomorrow, we've got the claimant counts coming. Pen, where are you? There. So we've got claimants tomorrow morning before the live room, assuming I'm alive. And we've got the CAD CPI tomorrow. So that's your first major news event of the week is CPI. So that's the interest rates for, inflation figures for Canada tomorrow afternoon. We've got Empire State Manufacturing as well, released at the same time. Then Bailey is speaking half an hour after market open. CPI for the pound, that's a biggie. We're really unsure whether we are going to go another 0.25% in the UK. There's a lot of uncertainty about the UK at the moment, whether we've done enough with interest rates. So this is going to be quite an important one. If this ticks up, instead of ticking down. And if it ticks up by 0.2% or more, the Bank of England is going to think very carefully about whether or not they've actually done enough on interest rates, because it's too high. So we'll see what happens, but that's going to be could be an impactful one. If it comes out as forecast and Bailey's not said anything exciting the day before, we may have no reaction to it, but we need to be aware of that. We got retail sales for the US on Wednesday, and then we go into unemployment on Thursday. So that's the unemployment rate, important one, leading indicator for interest rates coming out on Thursday for Aussie. That's overnight. Unemployment claims on Thursday as well. We've got Jordan speaking as well. Very rare Jordan speaks. When Jordan speaks, we listen, because it's very rare we get anything out of the SNB. The Swiss are very tight-lipped about monetary policy. So that could be an impacted one. And then we've got retail sales for the pound and University of Michigan on Friday. So it's not a lot of news week, but we've got 3 high impacts in there, mainly the unemployment rate and the 2 CPIs. Retail sales is having a lot less effect at the moment because it's not a leading indicator, it's a reactionary indicator. So when we have interest rates, inflation, everything happening, that controls our spending. Our spending is what retail sales is on. So we kind of know what retail sales should be because we know what the spending's like elsewhere, based on inflation and interest rates. So it does have the ability to obviously move the market, though. So over the weekend, nothing much has happened. It's escalating like crazy in the Middle East at the moment. At any point in the Middle East, we could have some escalation. If that happens, the yen and the Swiss franc and potentially the US dollar will get bought. The UK and US have been firing rockets into the Middle East, basically to stop all these pirates that are blocking the Red Sea. So that can escalate very quickly at any point. So we need to be aware of that. That's quite an important thing to watch on Financial Juice. Stock indices will drop. If there's any escalation in conflict, stock indices will drop. Swiss franc, yen, and US will rally. But you won't know. You can't predict. So it's a byproduct. So if the yen goes mental, the Swiss goes mental, there's probably been a rocket hit on a US ship or something ridiculous, and we're all going to war. But anyway, so that's the news covered. We'll have a look at what we did on Friday and everything in a minute. We'll just watch the open. Okay, pre-market on the FTSE today, too tight. Pre-market movement on the FTSE is 63, minimum is 71, which is 10% of ADR. And I'm just opening up the US as well. And I'm short on the DAX. So DAX pre-market is had to go all the way back to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-minute pre-market range to actually find something that fits within 10 to 20% of ADR today. All too tight. This last sort of 15, 20 minutes before market open, no movement. So taking the break there short. Not a lot of volume potentially this morning. See. Boiling some ginger tea. I've had ginger shots, not ginger tea. Don't think I could drink ginger tea. Morning, Yoko. FTSE, DAX, there is a gap fill. So this is where we closed on Friday. We've basically, pre-market has come straight down. This is the proper pre-market range is between 7 and 8. As you can see, they've come straight down and done the gap fill pre-market. So we're back to where we were on Friday. We are totally sideways on this DAX. This is January when we opened. This is where we are. All we've done is had a little drop down by roughly an ADR. We've pushed back up roughly an ADR. And we've sat sideways for 5 days, just not going anywhere. We're slightly bearish on the FTSE. So no movement on the DAX directionally this year yet. But obviously, we're waiting for something. We need a catalyst. We need something to move it. These markets are just so flat and contracted at the minute. So upside target initially today, you'd be looking at my T. You can't see my TP, but it's there. It's on that black line on the weekly high. So TP1 is target to the upside. That's where I'd look for initial resistance. And then obviously we're looking at that weekly high from previous week That's from 2 weeks ago, actually, not the previous week. That's the previous week's high. So that, yeah, so basically Thursday was previous week's high. Thursday was pretty much, if you look at it, the low as well. So that day we had where we did 175 ADR, that was the entire range of the week. So we're bang inside the middle of it at the moment. So downside targets, you're looking at yesterday's low, which is ADR to the downside. Upside, we've got resistance potentially there for some sells. And then obviously we'd be looking at 125 ADR. But we'll see where we go. At the moment, we've got virtually no volume. We're not going anywhere. And there's nothing to wait for today either. No news. So because it's bank holiday in America, we might have a quiet morning session. And if we do, obviously, we're going to have a quiet afternoon session because America's shut. So Friday was a triple hedge day Friday. Couldn't get a clean break on Friday. Market didn't do anything. So Friday was profit all round, but very, very small. So just pushed down into the propulsion gap into this area here. Bounced out, came back down, bounced out, double bottom. So I took the shorts off. EA took the aggressive exit and got out there. So it was a rotation session on Friday, quite often is on Fridays. Dow, very much the same. That was the hedge out there. Out on, what happened there? I did something on Friday, and I can't remember what it was. I put trailers on. That's what I did. I put manual trailers on. So I took one position off. So we went short. Got out of the shorts, and I put a trailer on one position, but not on the other ones. So basically, what I did something anyway, but as you can see, they all worked out. We got the pullback, the aggressive entry. I can't remember what it was now. My brain's not working this morning. Same with the S&P. So we got hedged at the open, short, out, W bottom, done. So not really any much profit. I think I banked 0.65%. So up 6% on the month on the account at the moment. DAX going short again. Your 5-minute opening range is in on the FTSE. So I'm taking the 5-minute ORB on the FTSE because the 15, the pre-market ranges were all wrong. So we'll be taking the FTSE break when we get it. There's your 5-minute on the DAX. If you haven't taken pre-markets and you take the 5-minute opening ranges, that's just about 10%. So literally the initial cash balance move today on the DAX, 10% of average daily range. Nothing at all. Long on the FTSE. So I triggered long on the FTSE. Still no volume, is there? Look. Dead. So we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll see where we're going. Got an ADR on the pound New Zealand as well. That might be an overnight candle. Yeah, 3 New Zealands. So let me just quickly cover what I did on Friday. So Friday closed 0.76%. So I'm only 2.67 up on the month at the moment, which is tiny, but is what it is. We haven't had any movement, so it's quite hard to actually do anything. Aussie dollar yen, got out that one short. So that was the H1 RSI extension from Thursday to Wednesday. Sorry. What was it? Aussie yen, pound odd, US yen, euro yen. It's all the yens, isn't it? So it got out on Friday on that one. That was the H1 RSI extension from Wednesday. Market reverse alert went in there. Then we got the reverse alert on the hourly. And I got out of that in the propulsion gap target. So that was a target hit. Euro yen, got out of that one. Pretty much the same trade because it was that yen drop. The reverse alert went in on Thursday morning there and got out there. I just got out of that one because I wanted to reduce exposure. I've still got 2 yens on, so I just wanted to reduce that yen exposure down. I think US dollar yen I got out of as well, yeah. So US dollar yen got out of as well. So that was the H1 RSI extension. Oh yeah, sorry. That was a third position, wasn't it? Yeah. So I had 3 on that. So that was just a reversal alert. Basically, was an H1 RSI extension. That was position 3. I exited that one because we got this one back into profit. So I just wanted a profit take some of this yen. Just keep the exposure down a little bit on it because I had quite a lot of exposure. I had 4 exposures long, and I had 2 of those in multi-position as well. So I just wanted to reduce the exposure down a little bit. I had an opportunity to take the pound yen off as well, but I didn't. I left that one on. We didn't get back into profit on that one. So if we'd surpassed this and got down to here somewhere, I probably would have taken that one off as well, but I didn't. So that's pulling back at the moment this morning. And pound odd was the other extension. This was the H1 RSI extension from Thursday. Straight in, straight out, A-shaped recovery. Perfect. Easy money. So that was H1M5. Hedging, I closed out 0.4%. So I've got 3 hedges on at the moment, and 1, 2, 3, 4 singles. But the market, as we know, has been just going sideways. So since this got started, which was only last week, it's not really gone anywhere in the market. So haven't had any opportunities to bank much at all. So got 0.3 I can bank on New Zealand Swiss today. It's coming down nicely, isn't it? So another example of spread. Look, the EA's triggered me in here. So that was the initial position. The EA's triggered me in there because the spread was up there. The spread was 3/4 of an ADR away from that position. And obviously got triggered in again on it. So 2 positions on that one. But it is just range bound. So I'm just going to take that one off, because I don't want 2 positions, basically. So I'll just take the profit off of that one. God, look at the spread on this thing. Look. Well, that's closed me out, look. How big that spread is. It's ridiculous. Anyway, nothing you can do. It's broker. Yeah, so that I'm going to let that one run short. Target on that one, I'm just going to stick down there. It's not a lot of money at all, but this isn't going anywhere. So if we can get down to ADR and hit last week's low, probably not going to get much further, are we? So take that one off. So that's 0.22 banked. We'll leave those running. ADR reversals, closed out all the ADR reversals. Very similar to the H1M5, obviously. As I keep saying, ADR reversals, you will get very similar entries to H1 RSI, because when you get ADR extensions, you get RSI extensions, because if something is pushing beyond its normal average daily range, the relative strength of that is high. Therefore, RSI will trigger. So if you get an ADR hit when you're above the 50 or around about the 50, the chances are the RSI will get pushed by 25 points on the RSI scale and gets you above those levels. So so that was an ADR extension, which I got out of, and it's pretty much the same trade. So 0.88 banked on Friday. Last week was the first week it was running, so 1.3% up, 1.13. And I've got the pound yen. So the pound yen is the only other thing running at the moment. That hasn't gone anywhere since the entry. So the entry was on the RSI extension. It pulled down, just pushing up a little bit this morning. So be looking for an opportunity to get out of that or scale into it later. So that is everything running. Ain't going anywhere today, is it? Morning, Agusa. Ow. Morning, Hennas. How the new EA works compared to the old ORB EA? What new EA? You mean the stock index hedge? It just takes one trade. So the SIH strategy is basically ORB, but it hedges instead of uses stops. So it trades the pre-market range, but it's dynamic. So the only real differences between this strategy and the ORB strategy. The ORB strategy, you get in, you have a stop loss. You get stopped out, you then have the opportunity to flip short, put another stop loss. You could go long again. There's all sorts of stuff that it does. But with this, when you go short, you place a pending order. So if it goes long, you hedge instead. Yeah. So you just take the one trade and then you wait for the market to move to an area of support resistance and you exit. That's the difference. And the pre-market range is dynamic. So the 5-minute opening range breakout, the 5-minute ORB is the 5-minute ORB. It's the 5-minute cash balance, the initial volatility that goes in the first 5 minutes. That's what we trade as a 5-minute ORB. The pre-market on the ORB, I was using the 15-minute or the 5-minute, but the 15-minute mainly, just that little bit of movement beforehand. But with this one, it's dynamic. So it calculates the minimum and maximum range based on your inputs. 10% or 20% I use. So it's got to be at least 10% the pre-market range and at most 20% for me to take a trade. Other than that, I'm not interested. So it basically looks back half an hour and finds a range that fits that criteria, and then it takes that range pre-market. It's all explained on the video, though. I'll put a link up there. The SAH. We'll have a look at these ADRs in a sec. Nowhere. It's just not moving today. You are trading 3 strategies with the MRE EA, yeah. Have a couple of questions. Maybe you can just show the set file for each. They're all in the Telegram group if you want them. I can't show you the set file for each because they're running on my VPS. But it's what I teach in the bootcamp, yeah? So this is H1 M5 mean reversion. So when the hourly RSI gets extended, the 5-minute time frame waits for a reverse alert to drop in short, and vice versa, go long. Yeah, this is exactly what's taught in the bootcamp. This is ADR extensions, exactly what's taught in the bootcamp. Yeah, when price extends beyond its average daily range, we wait for a 5-minute reversal alert, we get in short or long. Yeah, but this for me, this is hedging. This is ADR reversals. Yeah. But for me, I'm using the 125 level instead of the 100. There is no right or wrong. I just prefer things personally to be a little bit more extended. You could use 150 or 175 if you want. There is no right or wrong. I have no idea when it gets to 125 if it's going to do that or that. I have no idea when it gets to 100 if it's going to do that or that. It's just a way to get into the market. I just like 125 because it means the market's pushed that little bit further. Yeah. And this is H1 hedging. Again, this set file is in there. File section in Telegram, but this is basically a variation on the M5 strategy taught in the bootcamp using H1 reversals. So it literally, every time there is a reversal alert on the hourly time frame, it takes it. It is that dumb. It just goes, hey, we've had a reversal alert, short, let's go short. That's it. And if it gets a reversal alert the other way, it goes long. And what we do is we wait for price to move in one direction, then we go, I fancy getting out. You exit. If price goes against you, i.e. it goes up, when I'm short, I scale in exactly the same way. You can see all these settings are here, look. So it's using H1 hedging, so it's basically taking H1 reversal alerts. It does drawdown control automatically at 30% every time we get to 1.5 ADR. It scales in half an ADR apart with the entries, and it uses 0.2 risk over half an ADR for entry. There you go. Hello, holiday in the USA. Hello, Franco. It is a holiday in the USA. I'm not here this afternoon. Don't come. New rule. Everyone watching should smash the like button before the stream ends. Yep, that is a new rule. Do it now. Hit the thumbs up button. Like it. It's the least we can do for this quality free information. I know. Are all set files skipping the time from 23 to 1? No, they're not on mine, which is why I'm getting some entries which are a bit dubious. But where you can find the set files, yeah. So in Telegram, if you go into Telegram, yeah. So if you click that little icon there, you go to files. If you type in set, yeah, you'll find all the set files. So these ones that I'm using are called _Lee, yeah? So it's _Lee H1M5 mean reversion. They're a bit further back, actually. Underscore Lee, ADR. And underscore Lee, H1 Hedge test. Yeah. But the only thing that I've changed with all of these set files is I've removed targeting. Yeah. So in the targeting setting in basket trading settings, I'm not using any targeting at all. I'm basically just manually targeting, which is what I've always done. But people want targets. So these ones all, you know, like I say, everything I do is discretionary. Yeah. Which is why, you know, I say all the back testing that you do, you know, it will give you an idea of what will happen or what has happened. It will give you an idea of how robust things are. It'll give you an idea of what you need. Should I be using ADR or 150 ADR? You should be using the biggest. You know, it will give you an idea of that. But whether you get one position there or another position that is too close together, or you get a position which is perfectly spaced because of spread and all sorts of things that your broker does, it's irrelevant. It's what you do with the position. Like I've just shown you there on that one today. No, it's this one. Yeah. New Zealand dollar Swiss. I open up my chart. The reverse alert went in there. I took that short. And today the EA's taken another one there because the spread was all over the place, and it always is at the swap on the New Zealand dollar Swiss, and it took another trade. If I had two trades too close together by accident because of the broker and the EA doing something I didn't really want it to do, I will deal with one of those positions. If it had gone up, I would have gone, well, I can close it out, or I can use that as one big position and try and get out of it manually, or I can close that out if it's gone my way. Fantastic. You just deal with what you've got. If the EA cocks up and gets you in too tight, deal with it. If the EA pushes up, doesn't give you a reverse alert, and takes a trade because of some weird quirk in MT5, deal with it. People concentrate far too much on specifics. It didn't take the trade at exactly the right point. Who gives a shit? Deal with it. You can't, whether an EA takes a trade here and you tell it to take a trade there and it takes it there or 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 there is irrelevant. Once that second trade has gone in somewhere in that quarter of an ADR period, it's going that way or that way. It really makes no difference whatsoever exactly where it gets positioned. It's totally irrelevant. It drives me nuts, people going, oh, I'm not sure if it's done it right. It doesn't matter. What has happened is it's done it. Your job is not to analyze whether something does something right or wrong, or whether it should be there or there. Your job is to deal with the P&L. It's your job. You're a risk manager. Deal with the risk on the table. That's it. Details are irrelevant. It didn't hit the line. No. It didn't hit the line. It went past the line. That resistance there, it should have hit it because that's the resistance. It went to there. Who cares? My voice is really squeaky this morning. Anyway, everyone else, please press the like button. Yeah. Morning, Blue Trader from Pontevedra. Rain. Oh, you've got snow coming, I think. Possibly. Thanks for subscribing, Etienne. Welcome aboard. Bank holiday, yeah, Martin Luther King Day today. No session this afternoon. Indices aren't going anywhere this morning either. The market's dead again this morning. So we'll have a look at the ADRs in a sec. I will do that. We've got some another ADR, Pound New Zealand. Should have left that New Zealand Swiss on, shouldn't I? When you exit hedges on the SIH, but price goes against you, do you re-hedge with the same size of initial range, or is it price action determined? Price action for me, anyway. It's up to you what you do with these re-hedges. There's one on the DAX there we can look at. Look. So that was a straight in and out. That was a re-hedge. That was a possible re-hedge. So with this one, look, hedged there. Price pushed down. I exited the shorts there. Didn't manage to get out and it collapsed. So I entered another trade down here. So this, I didn't re-hedge. So there's two things you can do. And again, there is no right or wrong. It's whatever you want. You could have re-hedged it. So you could have gone long there and re-hedged it there. Or you can go long there and let it drop into more drawdown. That drawdown figure just gets bigger than it was before. It's a trade. On this particular one, I got out on that move for just over a break even. Yeah. But there is no right or wrong way of doing it. It's up to you. I don't know when the market starts to rally back up, whether it's going to get to where I want it to get me out or whether it's going to drop. Obviously, nobody does. So you just deal with it how you see fit. If you want to re-hedge and you prefer to do that, do that. If you don't want to re-hedge and you want to let it drop, do that. I tend to make my decisions based on how things are going, which again is discretionary. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to have a level of discretion in the trading. You're a trader. You're not a bot. If you use a bot, the bot will do exactly what you tell it to do. If you're discretionary, you can make decisions based on what you see on a chart. And that decision is either right or wrong. Nobody knows if it's right or wrong until they've done the decision. So with me, if, for example, the DAX has made, and the DAX and the FTSE, if in the morning I've made $600 on these two in the morning, right? In the afternoon, if I'm trading the other three indices and I get hedged on all three of them, my decision will be based on what I've done in the morning. So if I get hedged on all three of these and the hedge value is $450, I can just sit there and make $150 doing nothing. Brilliant. If one of those doesn't get taken because the ranges were all wrong and I've only got two, the hedge is going to be smaller. So what I might do is be a little bit more aggressive and try and get out of one of them. And if that drops, I might go, well, I've got $600. So I'll let that drop down to $600. And if it pushes back up from there, fantastic. If it pushes to 600, I might re-hedge it at $600. There, I've now got a break-even day. Yeah, but my decision process is based on making money, not what's going on the charts. Yeah. The job at the end of the day is to get this thing profitable. If you've got 18% profit in week one, you've been over leveraging. But if you have, right, in week two, you could probably let all these hedges get really aggressive and go into bigger drawdown and not re-hedge them. But again, what's price action going to do? Today, for example, on the DAX, prime example, look on the DAX today. Downside, easy peasy. If we get hedged on this, we're looking at yesterday's low and that low there. So if it drops today, if we get hedged, for example, today, and it goes like that, I can have my target set either at yesterday's low or the previous day's low. If it hits yesterday's low, and that's what I choose, I will get out of those shorts. It will then do what it does, whatever it's going to do. It will trigger an aggressive exit for me. I'll get into that aggressive exit long. And then if it drops down, my decision is, how big is this? Is it getting to the point where I'm like, oh, this is a nightmare, I'm going to re-hedge it? Or can I let it drop down to test that level and it's only $500 and hopefully then get a bounce from there? I don't know, but that's the decision you have to make. There isn't an answer to it. It's discretionary. Hedging today looks like the FTSE's dropping now. Looks like we're going to get hedged on the FTSE. If that happens, hopefully the DAX will go with it. So when that hits target there, that might be $200 or something. And if that hedge is 180, my decision is, shall I just walk away today because the volume is light, nothing's moving, and it doesn't look like I make money? Or shall I chance it? Discretionary. Yeah. The EA handles the mechanics. I have to trade it. But you can let the EA handle the mechanics and trade it for you. But then you're looking for the Holy Grail, aren't you? Evil, sorry, haven't been able to follow lately. Do you run the H1M5 and ADR reversals on all pairs? Yes. No directional bias because I don't know what direction it's going. I've always let the EA take everything the market throws at it. Yeah. So we've got some. So all of these today are going to be traded. Yeah, they're all hit 125 ADR. So Aussie, New Zealand, big push up. So M5 reversal alert. I will be taking short. So that will be my entry today on H1 on the ADR account, which is here. So I'll be getting short on Aussie, New Zealand on that reversal alert. So it's pushed up. Big strong push. Sat around at ADR. We've pushed up into 125. So I'll be looking to trade it back down into here somewhere. Euro, New Zealand. Same thing. Weak New Zealand dollar today. So the reverse alert on this one is a bit further away. So I'll be getting in short there. Yeah. Because I don't know what's going to happen. So you take everything. Yeah. It's either going to play out or not. As I keep saying, how you get in is relevant. How you manage it is how you make the money. Yeah. You can get in on the flip of a coin. If it goes your way, you bank it. If it doesn't go your way, you deal with it. Pound New Zealand. ADR hit. Again, reversal alert. It's not really updated very well, this chart, for some reason. Again. We're looking for an entry there. Push back down into there. So New Zealand dollar getting trounced at the moment. So they're all ADR 125s. So I was just thinking of something. Right. So I've got another account running some trades. And I just suddenly thought I've got a load of New Zealand exposure on it. But it's this way at the moment. Which is fine. So I'm going to have to close some of that out in a minute. So big strong push on Euro New Zealand today and all the other New Zealand dollar pairs. So we've not got all of them extended yet. We're missing, all the New Zealand pairs, look. And those extended yet. This looks like strength as well. So there's a bit of pound strength coming through along with the euro today. So euro and pound look like they're pushing a little bit, as well as that New Zealand dropping. So those are your ADRs today. Again, this tells the story of the month, doesn't it? I mean, there's nothing weekly because it's the first day of the week. Nothing's hit monthly yet. It's actually dead. Totally dead at the moment. Lots of decent movement, but no direction is there. It's just directionless. Flip-flopping. Philippe Flop. Morning ago, sir. I'm cracking you up. Yeah. For those that have just joined that haven't heard, I've got a cold, which is why my voice sounds like the man from the movies this morning. Hedged on the FTSE. DAX starting to run short. There is no such thing as a perfect trade. There is no perfect trade, no. They've been talking about snow for weeks, I know. We might get some more in the south where I am in the UK, but unlikely. Ow. I wanted to hit like for those who are like twice, for those who are unable to locate the like button. The like button, everybody, is there. 36 of you have hit it. There's 92 people in here. 36 of you have hit the button. For those of you that can't see it, as you can see, I'm going to be drawing it. It's like that thing, it's like I'm going to go into the screen, into the screen, into the screen, into the screen, into the screen. I've just hit it 3 times, look. 4. I've hit it 4 times. I haven't done anything. It's amazing, isn't it? I should just do this. I've got a bot that automatically hits a button. Look, I've created it. Genius. I'm probably going to get a copyright strike against myself now for playing my own video on my own live stream. I wanted it. Yeah. The like counter must be broken. Yeah. So no more max 2 pairs rule. Not for me, no. I've been running all pairs for half of last year, I would say. So But if you go and there's a position trading handbook on the website. Yeah. If you haven't already, go and get this handbook. And basically, this organizes all of my content into the order you should watch it in and what I think is important. There's a bit at the end of this. Which I think must be this bit here. What setting you use and how you get in are not important. There we go. Just what I keep saying over and over again, basically. You can now read what I keep saying over and over again. I thought there was a bit I'd put in here. About me changing the way that I... there you go. Right. So this is basically what I've changed, really. So follow the 2-trade rule on a single currency, which is an exposure rule, yeah? If you're using normal risk, which is 0.25 for half an ADR, what I have been doing recently is dropping that risk down to 0.1, okay, and trading every pair. So instead of getting exposed twice, I can get exposed 5 times in the same direction, but the risk will mean that I've got the same amount of exposure on. Yeah. So it's just to simplify it for people, really. So you can see I've got here 0.1 risk over half an ADR. This is H. That's not right. Actually wrong. I only put this on there last week. So it's 0.1% risk over. No, that is right. Idiot. Not with it at all this morning. Day nurse. It's really good. 0.1 risk over half an ADR. 3/4 of an ADR is the scaling. The other strategies are running higher risk. Yeah. These you will get more quick entries and exit on. So with these are scalps. So I'm getting out of them really, really quick. I'm going to get out of that New Zealand dollar Swiss. Just taking that off. 0.3 banked. Basically because ADR reversals, you tend to have faster exits. So I don't mind taking more risk because you'll find that they will play out a lot quicker. But yeah, so it's up to you how you want to manage it. Some people struggle with the 2-pair rule. So drop your risk, trade everything. There is no exposure rule to worry about then. But understand if you are 3 short on the pound and the pound goes up, all of them are going to go into drawdown. Just control your risk. Again, there is no right or wrong. I just, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. Test. I would always say just go and test. I remember the double mirror effect on my old barber shop. Showing 12 likes, yeah. Hopefully we've got more now. How many have we got now? Let's check. Are people pressing the button? 54. It does work when you ask people. It's one of those things, isn't it? You if you don't tell people to do something, they won't do it. Weird, isn't it? I'm not going to say it. What my mum used to say to me, jump off a cliff. No? If you jumped off a cliff, if I told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? No. Well, then why did you do that? That's what she used to say all the time. She still would if she had half a chance. You need Jack Daniels and an English breakfast tea. Yeah, I know. I couldn't face Jack Daniels at the moment. I've got 4 bottles of Jack Daniels downstairs, different varieties. Thought of having a Jack Daniels now is just like, yeah, Jack Daniels in tea, though. There's no live room this afternoon, so I could do that. New Zealand dollar CAD, ADR. So again, big moves on this New Zealand dollar at the moment. We're down back at the bottom of the range, and we're at ADR. So just looking for a little bit of a pullback on that. May well come down and retest. Don't forget as well, we've had no movement last week, as you can see on this New Zealand dollar CAD. We are just sideways at the moment, so be aware that we might start some moves this week. The market might wake up, so this could be the week we actually start to get some directional bias. Put a weight on the DAX, it's dropping. Yeah. We are off. Let's keep that down. Right, so I'm hedged on the FTSE. I can't see anything getting to ADR today, but maybe it will. So I'm gonna leave it at 5R actually. My target. So there's two areas here. This is obviously yesterday's low. This is Friday's low, this dotted line here. Which is basically where we opened on Friday in Globex. So that is a potential target to the downside. People will buy the open and close and the high and the low. And then we've got the low of the week, which is Thursday's low, which is at ADR. So if that triggers and doesn't bounce from Friday's low, the EA will obviously trail a pending order if we move down into there and then get in on a bounce off that level there. So what I'm looking for is some kind of push down and then pull back. Yeah. So get out there. Upside target, don't see a problem with that one either. It's top of that propulsion gap. It's 5R. So if that screams through 5R, hits my target to the upside, we'll get some resistance at either ADR, because the market will have done its average daily ranges, and then we'll get resistance at the Thursday high where the limit orders will be sitting. So don't have a problem with either of those targets today on the FTSE. However, because it's a bank holiday in the US, we're going to get no stock movement this afternoon to move this any further. So we're probably going to rotation today. We'll get a day, I don't know, probably, but we'll see. So targets in place on that one. I've removed my weight. Look, it's coming back up again. So 1R hit to the downside on the DAX. Pulling back a little bit. Not really going anywhere. There's no RSI extensions at all today. So RSI is flat. There's no H4 RSI extensions either. Maybe you're checking the lurgy from the spinning classes. Catching the lurgy, probably, yeah. Gyms and group exercise classes are the breeding ground, aren't they, for any kind of germ. You are literally in a room filled with people sweating and huffing. It's just where you catch stuff. And then they all just go out. So germs basically go, I know, let's go to the gym. And they go and infect somebody, and that person infects the entire gym, and then off we go. That's how pandemics start. Unless you're in Wuhan and accidentally walk out with a virus attached to your leg or something. Tom, RSIs, yeah, so I just covered those flat. Nothing. At the moment, we're all sitting 50s, 60s, 40s. So the only thing getting close is the New Zealand US, which is just under 40. We've got New Zealand CAD, which is just under 40. So there's not a lot else getting close. Euro New Zealand, you're going to find it's going to be New Zealand pairs today. If we do get any extensions, it's going to be because this New Zealand dollar has continued its rally. So we'll see. Morning, Novelty. Right, that's it. So there's nothing much else to cover today. I've got Euro Pound. These positions that I've got on H1M5 are the ones I've had on all week. So got into this Pound Yen back here beginning of January, and we've literally had 1 day of rally, 3 days sideways, 1 day of rally. Yeah, it's not going anywhere, so I can't do anything with that at the moment. US dollar yen, pretty much the same thing. We've had a bit of a rally, a little bit of a pullback. I have had exits on this. As you can see, I've taken one off there. I could have got out of some of it there as well. So yeah, just waiting basically for some direction on that one. And euro pound, which has basically been absolutely flatlined since the 5th of January. Totally sideways. Totally sideways. So got first entry on there. We pushed down for a day, and then second entry got taken. We haven't gone anywhere for a week. So just sitting. Targets propulsion on that. Hedging in, just waiting for stuff to move. Aussie dollar yen. Hedged on that on the short. So short side. Probably look to get out in that propulsion gap down there. Yeah, and then second entry will get taken down there. $46. That's half an ADR in it. Yeah. So I'll put target to short side down there. Long target, I'll just stick up at the high. But yeah, I'm not really putting targets in place too much on the hedging strategy. It's more of a case of just checking this every few hours and seeing what's profitable and what's not, seeing where it's potentially going, and just getting out, really. Just moving this down here as it appears. But that's not quite enough to bank yet. And ADR reversals, yeah, just the one trade. So I will be getting into more exposure today. Pound yen short, so I'm looking to get out in this accumulation. That propulsion gap there, which is just beyond ADR today. And as we've just seen, I will be taking an Aussie New Zealand, a Euro New Zealand, and a Pound New Zealand short, as and when we get a reversal alert, which we haven't had yet because it's still going like a loony. DAX pushing down. So DAX on its way to target. I'm going to adjust my TP2 up on the DAX to Friday's low. I can't think that today we're going to get enough movement because of this afternoon's holiday in the US. So TP1 is, I think, probably achievable in that propulsion gap. If we can get pushed down into yesterday's low, because there's so little volume, I think the volume of limit orders we get there is probably going to cause a bounce. So I'm just going to get out of the second portion, assuming we hit TP, this is, at yesterday's low. I think 5R is a little bit too far today. If you look at 5R, it's beyond ADR. This is ADR. 5R is all the way down there. We're looking at testing this level. I just don't think it's going to have the legs today. So I'll get out the first entry there, and obviously that will then break even. Because I've got the hedge on, if we can get that hit, that will easily pay for the hedge on the FTSE, because the hedge on the FTSE is $200. So that would make a profitable morning, because I haven't got the US this afternoon to trade, so I can't make any money out of the US. We'll see what goes on with that one. Right, that's all I've got for you today. Excuse me. Ow. I'm going to go and drink some hot lemon and hopefully get better for tomorrow morning. But if this is the 100-day cough, you've got this for 3 months. It'll be fun, is it? I don't know why they're calling it the 100-day cough. I'm sure it isn't. I haven't actually looked at it. I've just heard. It's no joke. See, this is no joke. Cases of whooping cough or pertussis, given the 100-day nickname due to its persistent symptoms. All right, so it's not 100. So I was just going to say, how does a virus know when 100 days is up? Hasn't got a brain. It's been on the rise in the UK. Yeah, tripling in the last 6 months. So I've got all the symptoms for this, apart from the being sick. Apparently, it's basically you get a temperature, you're sick, and then you start coughing your guts up. So I've just got the coughing your guts up and feeling a bit hot. Anyway, let's see. Right, that's all for this morning. Just monitoring the positions I've got on there. Obviously, there's no RSI extension, so I'm not going to get into those. DAX, we know about, short. Hopefully we get a TP hit on that one to the downside. And that'll be it. Had it, got rid of it in 3 days. Stepped over the bodies of the lesser man. Yeah. I don't usually get very ill for very long. So hopefully this will go pretty soon. But I had a cold between Christmas and New Year. And I've never really got over that 100%. And I thought this is just it coming out again. But this, over the weekend, it just got like twice as bad. So FTNet, TP1 hit on the DAX, moved it up a bit. Normally it should put a stop loss at break even now. Yeah, it will do. And if it hasn't, are you the person that's got the problem with when you move a TP, it was shutting your positions? If it's not now moving the stop loss, there's something's very wrong with your MT4 if it's not doing. So basically, if you move your TP up and it hits that TP, the logic basically in the EA says when TP is hit, if short, move stop loss to break even. That's the logic. So when it closes a position, that is when the logic runs to move your stop to break even. So it's basically, it's not monitoring anything. It's working on close. So on close of order, if there is a short, a second short, set a break even at the offset. That's the logic. So if yours, if you move your TP, when your TP is executed, it's not doing that. There's something wrong there somewhere. I don't know what it would be. In fact, I'm going to take the 1.5 lot. Look, I'll show you. Look, if you close it, TP, there you go, break even stop, immediately in. It also cancels pending longs, look. So the logic goes, if trade is closed, if trade is short, cancel all pending longs and move stop short if you have one. That's the logic. So I've taken that off. It's a tiny little profit. I just have no faith in this market today. It's so flat. Look, 20 minutes sideways now, or 15 minutes. Does not work with the stop loss. Since running it on a PC, it does not close all positions anymore if closed one manually. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody's reported that problem. And obviously, as you can see, it doesn't happen to me. You're using the same thing. Mine's no different to yours. This is the exact EA that's uploaded onto the marketplace. You close it, it automatically does all of that immediately as well. So I close that and then that one, sorry, at 10 o'clock exactly and 0.2 seconds. And then immediately buy stops are cancelled and move sell stop at exactly the same time. It does everything at exactly the same time. If yours isn't, I really don't know what it would be. I can't. Oh, this is a MT5 thing. Oh, for Christ's sake. Yeah. I'm on the verge of pulling all of my products for MT5. I really am. MT5 is fucked. I don't know what they've done. They do this every now and again. As I said, I've said it in here many times. No one has ever contacted me with a problem with MT4. I get people all the time with problems on MT5, and they go in waves. It gets like worse waves, and then MT5 seems to get better. Then it gets worse, then it gets better. And it's every update. Every update they release for that platform, they break something. Yeah. There is no logic changes released for developers. They haven't changed anything logically. Yeah. It works exactly the same way. They tell us to code the same way. They tell us to do everything the same way. Yet stuff breaks. Yeah, I've got to run a test for someone this morning. I'm going to load it up on my VPS with an MT5 because his EA apparently is taking trades when there's no reversal alert on the market reversal alerts EA. And he's asked me, what can I do to fix it? Nothing. It's been running for 2 years with no issues. If MT5 have broken their platform, get rid of it. No, don't. But it's like, I don't do this as a job. I sell these EAs to basically help pay for the support. Because I've become a support guy and I don't want to do this. I'd rather not sell on MT5 10% of my sales would drop, of which there aren't many, but I would have no support requests because MT4 just works. MT5 just doesn't work. I don't know what it is. And if you're saying now the SIH is doing something wrong on MT5, it's something to do with stop loss behavior. They've broken something. I guess. I don't know. But like Amy says there, all your EAs are great with my MT5. And this is the thing that I can't. MT5 is a nut job. MT4 works. No side shows, yeah. But so I just seen Lee's shoulders drop when seeing the MT5, yeah. It's like, But this is the thing that I can't fix. And this is the thing I think people find difficult to understand. I'm not trying to be awkward. I'm not trying not to help. As Amy has just said, all of my EAs work great on her MT5. I open up MT5, use somebody's set file that's got a problem, and it works absolutely spot on. I test all of my products for weeks on MT5 before I even put them out to make sure they work. And then someone goes, it doesn't work. And I'm like, well, I can't fix what isn't broken. If I put something on my platform and it trades, it trades. If it does what it should do, it does what it should do. If I can't replicate a problem, I can't fix it because there is no problem. Amy says it works fine. FTNet says it doesn't. What's the similarity there? They're both using MT5. They're both using my EA. One works, one doesn't. What's the only other thing in that thing? Broker and terminal. So either the terminal's got a problem, your MT5 platform itself, or your broker's doing something weird, which is breaking something in the EA. I can't test every broker, and I certainly can't test people's platforms. I'm not a software guy. I have no idea how to fix MT5. So I just can't do anything about these things. And like I keep saying, MT4, I never ever have a problem, which is why I've always used it. But for some reason, people want to use MT5, and I don't get it personally. But it's, everyone each to their own. I have no problem with people using whatever platform they want, but just know that it's buggy for some people for some reason, which no one can put a finger on. So I don't know. This is why I said, if I removed all MT5 products, there wouldn't be a problem, would there? Because no one could use it on MT5, therefore you can't have a problem. If you haven't got MT4, you can have it because all brokers support it. I don't know what to do. You have a reset. You have a reset to out of box. People make changes and forget original settings. Yeah, I mean, I don't. The other thing that is a problem with indicators and EA specifically is compatibility with other EAs and indicators. So some people are running multiple EAs on the same account. And you've no way of knowing how those EAs are going to interact until you use them, which is why I always say every EA and every strategy you run should be on its own account. Therefore, there is nothing that can influence it externally apart from you. So there's always that as well. And with indicators, people constantly get in touch with me and say, I've got the Trade Manager dashboard. And this is MT4 as well. Because obviously it runs in a window, so they have other indicators running up there, and their indicators running up there disappear and reappear and disappear and reappear. And that's because the Trade Manager dashboard works by refreshing the chart over and over again by design, because it was the fastest way to get this thing to work. It's not designed to run with other indicators. And I say, right, we'll just open a new chart, put the Trade Manager and don't touch it. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. Tough. That's how it's built. If you don't like it, go and build your own. It's always my approach because there's nothing wrong with having more than one window open. People have an aversion to having, and they put this bloody dashboard on the chart as well and go, how can I make it smaller? You can't. It's not designed to be small. It's designed to sit there as an alert dashboard. You look at your chart and it pops up and goes, hey, there's an RSI extension. I'll have a look at that. But for some reason, people only want one chart. Why? Why not have more? There's a million ways to do the same thing. I just do it this way. If you don't like my way, do it someone else's way, or go and get your own thing done. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't sell it on the marketplace and rip me off. I don't mind. Of which there are people at the moment doing that. But there's nothing I can do about it apart from go and see the solicitors again. Anyway, target one on the DAX been reached? Yep. Yep, so I closed out a little bit prematurely there. So there's TP1 hit. I got out there a bit early, but it was pulling back. And the FTSE as well was stuck, wasn't it? So, but yeah, out a bit too soon. So TP2, I'm going yesterday's low. See if we can get there. FTSE obviously is now collapsing very nicely. So yeah, good chance we might get down there. So yesterday's low on both, and then look for pops. All right. So good job on the DAX if you took it. FTSE if you're trading that, deal with that in due course. If TP2 is hit on the DAX, that will be higher than the hedge. And to be honest today, if I can walk away with a break even, it would be a good job. Quite surprised we got this much liquidity, to be honest. But anyway. Right, I'll leave it there. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Telegram. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time for the Frankfurt session. No session this afternoon because it's the holiday in the US. So don't turn up at 2:20 this afternoon, but I will be back at 2:20 tomorrow afternoon for the US session. News-wise, be aware that we've got GB, UK news, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So this is before the live room. We've got the pound claimant counts. So if you can be up by then, check your charts. If you've got any good pound profit, take it, because it could disappear. It could double, but it could also disappear. Yeah, you're better off taking the profit on the table when you can take the profit on the table rather than let it go into drawdown. And then we got CPI to deal with tomorrow. So that's the only news event between now and the next live room. All right. Excuse me. So go and have a chill for the rest of the day, really, because there's no US session. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good one.